We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Steve and Jill here.
Good day.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show. Entertaining land investment talk. I'm Steve and Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from the Valley of the Sun.
Today, Jill and I talk about rational growth and cash flow in your land business.
What if I don't want rational? I think I want through the roof growth.
Well, that's one of the reasons you're the girl for me.
There's nothing rational about anything that I do, is there? That's a whole nother show.
Yesterday, we answered a question from a person who said, I just sent out 1,000 mailers. I got 5 calls back after about 2 weeks. And you can go back and listen to the question. And the first 5 calls or whatever were from people that
Not
were just
interested.
take me off we call it the hate, just get me off the list. So this person, for whatever reason, that is within their comfort zone to send out 1,000 mailers.
Mm-hmm. Our comfort zone is 20,000.
Yeah, 20 to 80.
I know. At a time. He just lets them rip, by the way. I don't even know they're coming.
Would I do that my first week in the business? No.
Nope.
So that's what we're going to talk about here. Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free. And don't forget to subscribe on the Land Academy channel on YouTube and comment on the shows you like.
Luke wrote, I think it's going to be interesting to start a poll for everyone's average deal timeline from start to finish, meaning from the seller's signature to the end of the buyer's wire hitting the bank. Seems it's been longer with the corona backing up everyone, combined with forbearance ending to jumpstart more investors buying homes. Is this home related or land related or anything related?
It's land.
Okay.
And I know this is Luke, right?
Yeah. Which Luke is it?
It's not the Luke you know.
Okay, got it. All right. So, it's funny because I still have it all over the place. I have deals still where, I put a sign in the ground and you go out and take pictures, right? And you have your photographer. If you're not doing this, please do this. You're in the process of buying the property. So while you're buying the property, you're already getting the photographer out there. So you get eyes on it, by the way, get your drone stuff done. And you have everything ready to go. So when you own it, man, you can start marketing it right away. So one of the things that we also do too is put a stupid sign in the ground, as silly as this is. And I get calls and I'll sell property with a sign in the ground. I'm like, I never even get to post a property for sale. So it's kind of all over the map.
So let's apply some deconstructive logic here.
Okay.
Jill covered the sales part as she always does.
Thank you. That's all I know. I'm sorry. This is all I know.
In every deal, there's constants and variables. So let's very quickly take a look at the variables. Variables are all about you. I'm going to assume you bought it for a great price, because that's what we do here, in a great area that has been vetted through the red, green, yellow test and the whole darn thing. And so it's going to sell quickly, and it is. So now you've taken out all the stress of 100% of it. Here's the constants.
That's a tough word.
The constants, S-T-A-N-T-S. I think the issue is freaking title agent. Okay. That's the problem, because we've had title agents. We have one right now in one specific state that can get a deal done easily and with a smile on her face in about 7 days.
Yeah.
With title insurance and the whole thing. So, and what Jill's referring to, we've done deals in 2 weeks from start to finish. Is that the norm? Heck no. If the bid in the end, it's those constants that are tough.
Yeah.
It's not the price. If you buy it right and you list it for the right price, not for that, all is going to happen very quickly. And you know how to market it by namely putting a sign on the ground. It's that title agent. And so you need to spend a lot of time. It's not going to happen overnight, finding the right one. It's taken us about 20 years.
You know what another variable is we're not even talking about is how hot is the area?
Well, that's what I just said. With the red, green, yellow test takes care of all that.
Assuming you did it right.
Yes.
And you bought something an area that things are just like You go on Zillow and you see like, look, there's only 20 for sale and 120 sold in the last 6 months. I think I should send mail here.
It has nothing to do with Corona. Nothing. I've been doing this since the 90s. It's the same amount of time. And it has nothing to do with forbearance. This forbearance thing is a drop in the bucket compared to what happened between 2007 and 2011 in this country with foreclosures.
We have done homes start to finish in 30 days, like on the day.
We've done rehabs in 45 days start to finish.
Yeah. So you could do some crazy stuff. And I would argue, too, that back then, things wasn't even as hot as the market when you're doing homes that it is now. So, this will be fun to see. And I appreciate this. Everybody.
This is a great question, by the way.
Now and then comes up with these interesting ways of looking at things. And then they're pleasantly surprised when they realize how fast it really is moving, and so that's good. I was thinking back to the one that a guy did a whole thing on his own. He tested his, do I mail only back tax property? Let's test back tax property versus let's test the way Jack and Jill do it. And his results were, don't do the back tax properties. Yeah. Let's do the way Jack and Jill do it.
Here's a
But you need to do that and find out.
For whatever reason, 2 final points here. For whatever reason, and it's us, I'm sure, this group.
We're the problem.
No, this group really attracts analytical people.
Yeah.
And so this is a very analytical and a very, very good question again. Just know that your job is to buy cheap property in great areas. So that's easy because you're a Land Academy member.
Right.
And that it's going to take you some time to find the right title agent.
Yeah.
It might take you years. And always put a sign on the property. As soon as if you can get out there yourself, or if you're going to get drone shot or the photographer, get the photographer to drop a sign out there. You'll be shocked and amazed. If it's priced correctly, it might just sell right there.
Yeah, and I'm not talking a fancy sign. You don't need to call, the local printing company.
In fact, don't do that.
Yeah.
I want you to go, purpose.
I want a Home Depot sign nailed to a stake.
With a Sharpie.
That says investor special and your phone number on it.
Exactly.
Not the price, by the way. Don't put the price on there. You want them to call you.
There's stories all over Discord where people in the success stories area about signs. And how properties were for sale for a year on the MLS. And then they happened to be there on vacation one time, dropped a sign on the ground and sold it that day.
Right.
Seriously, that is a story on there. Today's topic, rational growth and cash flow in your land business. This is why you're listening. Go ahead, note taker. Jill takes notes.
I do.
About, 30 or 40% of the shows she takes notes. She took a lot of notes on this one. So I'm always interested. Some of these topics sing to you, and some of them are probably like a listener. Some topics are great. Some topics are nope.
My
co-host is the first one to let us all know how that goes.
Let's just take a step back here, shall we? Let's think about what kind of students we were.
I bet you we were different types of students.
We were very different types of students. I was the president of the National Honor Society. You were the president of the student body. Very different things. You had the social part covered. I had the academic part covered.
That's true.
I'm very good at taking notes. You're very good at talking to people. That's the difference.
I sat in the back of the class and Jill sat in the front.
That's exactly right. Yeah, so it's all good. And it's funny. And we ended up together. It's all good. So here's my thoughts about this. First of all, you got to figure out what your goals are. And I think it's good to have short-term and long-term goals, but know you're going to change them, because once you get into it, they will change. I promise you. So, and some people say no goals too crazy. Yeah, some are kind of crazy. We don't need to have a B billion in there. I mean, you could, but I like to be realistic, but yet stuff I'm going to push myself for. So anyway, set goals is my first comment here. Really spend some time and think about why you're here, what you want to do, what you want to get out of this, how much money you want to make. That's it. It's really how much money you want to make, how many deals you want to do, how hard you want to work. That's really my main points. And then what you have to do, and this is in your equity planner that Jack created, which is awesome, that you work it backwards. You kind of plug this number in at the end. Okay, in 12 months, I want to make this much money. I want to do this many kind of deals because this is how many, how hard I want to work. I only want to do a deal a month or one a week, whatever it is. And you can work it backwards. And then it's really great because when you plug this in and you work it backwards, you can really kind of look at how hard you're going to have to work. Okay. So if I'm going to do this many deals a month to bring in this much money, this is how much mail is going to have to go out. Now I can kind of think about can I even handle the volume of the phone calls? Can I handle this? Can I handle that? So you can really, set yourself up and adjust right away. Excuse me. Because you might do that right away and go, ooh, that's too much for me right now. But in 6 months, I bet I can do it. Good. Factor all that in. And then my third point, I'll let you have this back, is you got to push through your fears. So that's a biggie that I see people do. They're skittish. They're afraid of some of these big goals. And I don't want you to be. Do it. If you do what we just said, like you put it in there, work it backwards, and see it as a monthly thing and a weekly thing and, baby steps, then you can kind of breathe and go, all right, I got this. I can see how this can work. And then another way I want you to think about pushing through your fears, a great resource that you have is this community. That's probably the number one thing I think of. If you're fearful, like, I don't know if I can do this. How did you guys do this? I mean, there's people you can ask right now today. There's always someone who's 6 months ahead of you. And you can have a conversation with them and with us and push through it.
Let's take a deconstructive, analytical view at this now that we've covered the people happy part.
The people happy part? What did you go? That's the people happy part?
We approach things so differently.
Oh, no.
And we both get to the same place. It shocks me every time.
All right. You're gonna say this should hurt. Just kidding.
No.
You should not sleep. Just kidding.
There's two real variables in anything that you want to accomplish: time and money. I'm going to throw a third one in, sort of. Talent.
I like that.
If I set out and said, I'm going to be a rock star, and I threw the money at it and the time at it, I wouldn't have the talent to do it. I just don't have the talent to get into that upper echelon part.
Let's think about
Land
this.
Academy, and I'll tell you this, my company, all the companies that I've had up to maybe 3 years ago were tied to cash flow. So think about that, because I refuse to take on any debt of any kind. Equity, no problem. Debt, nope. For a lot of personal reasons, Jill and I have never taken on any type of debt at all. So business and personal. And so the cash part of this, managing a company that's limited by cash flow, meaning I've got $12,000 to spend on acquisitions this month. I spent all 12. My bills are paid for because I still have a job. I'm not going to do any more acquisitions. And that's rational management and cash flow. And that's why I wrote the title this way. That's no longer the case at all. We have deal funding. We have a massive number of people in our group that are happy. This is their whole entire process, is to find people that want to fund their deals. And so now one of those two variables is completely removed from your life. So it becomes time. And that's something you're going to have to figure out with you and your family, how much time you want to devote to this. If you're further on in your career, maybe even retired, we have a lot of people that are retired. They have all kinds of time. Now you're all set. It just comes down to talent. And you don't need to be Eddie Van Halen here. You don't need to be that level of a rock star. You can do 2 or 3 deals a month pretty easily. Mm-hmm. So it all has to do with how much gas, what gear you want to be in and how much gas you're going to put into it. And I really have spent a lot of time trying to put it together. I've spent my entire life, now that I think about it, trying to put together a group like Land Academy, where I'm removing these blocks, mm-hmm. these huge obstacles. They're not speed bumps, they're brick walls.
Yeah, that's true. I'm back on the rock star thing. You know what you would make? You would be a great manager.
Yeah.
Do you know what? You could promote, remember Milli Vanilli? They couldn't sing either.
No, Jill, I don't actually.
You don't?
No.
Are you being sarcastic?
I mean, I remember, no, I don't. I mean, I have a picture in my head of Hall & Oates, but I think it's kind of the same.
No, Hall & Oates had talent. These guys totally faked the whole thing, and they did very well until it came out like they were lip syncing somewhere, and it was like they figured out like these guys can't really sing. They really aren't doing anything. But they clearly had a great manager and got them there. So I was thinking, okay, you too could be a rock star just like Milli Vanilli.
So one of Jill's middle names is Workaround Jill.
See? Yep.
You just found a workaround.
I totally
How to be a
did.
rock star with no talent by Jill.
Exactly. Because they did it. For those of you listening, you know how old I am. And if you know Milli Vanilli, everybody else is looking up like, what the heck is she talking about? So yeah, that was.
You know, since then, I do remember this now. It was a class action lawsuit.
Girl, you know it's true.
So, Jill.
Sorry.
Singing. So.
I know I can't. Sorry. I would be Milli Vanilli lip syncing it because I can't sing.
There's since then, like that was a terrible thing back then.
It was a big deal.
Since then, I think it's very normal.
It was like a scam. Everybody was pissed off. Like, oh, how dare they?
It's very normal now to have all kinds of that was before electronic music really kicked in. Mm-hmm. Now if you look at
it was kind of disco-y.
There's tracks behind everything now in a live venue.
That's true. That's true. Like all the EDM, we all know that. We all know there's nobody up there. We all know it's him doing the same.
That's
Nobody's
what I mean.
playing
it's
it.
Very expected now. It's
that's
normal.
True. Too bad. God, they were just 20 years too early.
I wonder. You know what? I'd like to know now. Well, how did that really come out for them?
I think everybody got pissed.
Are they sitting in did it work out in the end? Are they sitting in a jail cell somewhere? Are they sitting in a
do they refund everything?
7-bedroom Beverly Hills mansion laughing and saying, you know what? Yeah, we got sued. So what? And we had to pay it out. But in the end, it won't. Like a bank robber.
You know, well, I'm going to look it up now. I'll get back to you on this. It's so funny. Need to send out a few thousand offers to property owners like us? Check out offers2owners.com. So it's offers2owners.com. No setup fees, free mail merge, exceptional service, and now including just released for everyone, concierge data and pricing. It's awesome. Give Offers to Owners a call today. Happy you could join us today. 5 days a week, you can find us here on the Land Academy and or House Academy show, which is coming up tomorrow.
Tomorrow, the episode on the House Academy show is called Affordable Housing versus Affordable Cadillac Escalades. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
Oh, I'm going to take some good notes for that one. All right, I have a few things to say about that. That's good.
If you can't afford a Cadillac Escalade, and most of us can't, what do you complain about that? Do you say, I can't afford a Cadillac? It should be cheaper, darn it. No, you don't do that.
You march on down there.
You go buy a Honda, like the rest of the planet. But that's not what happens with houses.
True. Exactly.
It's someone else's fault that you can't live where you live.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand that.
That's so funny.
Believe me, we're going to talk about it tomorrow.
That's funny. Thank you for tuning in. By the way, if you've not checked it out or found this yet, go to Offers to Owners and find the page for concierge data. We will pull your data, scrub your data, queue it up for you to accurately price your data, just take all the mystery out of it. It's awesome. We're Steve and Jill. Information and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you found our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.